What has happened in BC Spirit Spirit Day number 110. Today we're doing something I don't drink very often. It's a smoky peated whiskey from this one, actually. Number 110, we're doing Lohin McKinnon's Peated single malt. I don't drink a lot of peated whiskey just because it doesn't do very good for my head when I'm going to sleep. I usually sleepwalk and sleep talk a little bit more than I should when I have peated whiskey. So I try to avoid peated whiskey for my own benefit and my wife's. So Lohin McKinnon's out of Surrey. They've done a whole bunch of stuff. We did April. We did their cocoa aged one. Their classic single malt's really good. They got a tequila barrel one. They got a wine barrel one. They do some really cool little whiskey styles. I would say that the whiskey style is definitely in that Highland Speyside style, that very light floral, cut grass, sort of rolling meadows sort of feel to it. But there is one distinct, I'm going to see if it comes out in this, but there is one distinct thing that Lohin McKinnon has throughout all their whiskies. Now, I've talked about terroir of whiskies. In Scotland, it's very region specific. I think in BC, it is very distillery specific. I think that's very driven towards a distillery and a flavor profile. And if you will listen to the podcast this week, please go over and try and find the podcast, the BC Spirits podcast. I think you're missing out. If you haven't been listening to the BC Spirits podcast with distillers and owners and so on and so forth, I think you're really missing out. So I think go and listen, because this week we did a podcast with Sonia from 101. She really talked about the specificness of distillery style of their whiskies. So let's give it a kick off. So on the nose, campfire rocks. Now I say campfire rocks like by the river, those flinty rocks, you smash them together, very flinty. But there's that Lohin McKinnon twang. Lohin McKinnon, in my opinion, has this sort of very almost hopped, sort of a hop twang to it in the very back end. I'm not sure because it's part of the brewery or if it's just a terroir thing and the yeast they use. But at the very back end, they've got this sort of like twang of hops. On the palate, really classic peat profile. Really great, because peat is a chunk of organic matter that when you dry it, it burns really well, creates a really great smoke. But it's very specific to the region. So peat from Ireland is going to taste very different to peat from Vancouver Island. But wow, very flinty. Hints of campfire smoke, like having a campfire out in the scrub. Some fruity stone fruit, but that twang right in the back can tell us that Lohin McKinnon twang right in the back. But BC Spirit Day, Lohin McKinnon, peated. If you like your peated whiskey, try and track down a bottle of this. It's a really nice sipper. I would say like it's very, very freaking close when it comes to flavor profile of your Ardbegs and stuff. I really think you should probably track down a bottle if you love your peated whiskey. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.